Now before I get into the video, I just want to say, yes, I have not uploaded for a long time. That is one, because I'm very busy, and two, because I did record a GTA 5 video, and I tried to edit it about 3 times. Basically, if you guys don't know what that means, is first time I went to go edit it, it crashed. Second time, it crashed. Third time, I was about halfway through and just realized how stupid this is, because it wasn't like very motivational. I was just really bored, you know, almost like I had to make a YouTube video, and I don't want to make videos that I feel like I'm forced to make. Anyways, here is a Rainbow Six Siege video, so I hope you guys enjoy. Yo, what's going on guys, me Beckonator, and welcome to another Rainbow Six Siege video. And in this video today, I will be explaining what operators you should get first in Rainbow Six Siege. So if you guys are watching this video, you guys probably just got the game, or maybe you guys have had the game for a while but just want some new operators and how to play as them, or I don't know, maybe you just want a new operator. But this is really mainly for the people that just got the game and you know, they kind of know the basics, but they want some new operators, and they don't want to, you know, take the good operators from the people that know how to use them, but they still want to, you know, have a good impact on the game and play well with the operators they want. Now, in this video, I will be explaining 2 attackers and 2 defenders. This could be the first 2, second 2, but this should be, you know, in the first, you know, at least 3 or 4 operators you get for attacking or defending. Now, first off, before I get into the video, no, I'm not a pro in this game. I think the highest rank I've ever got is like a silver 1 or silver 2, something like that. So obviously I'm not the best. I'm only level like 70, 72, somewhere around there. So obviously now, before you click off the video, I have been, you know, I've played Rainbow Six Siege many times. I'm on and off days, just depends on the day. So anyways guys, I'm gonna get right into the video, and first off, for attacking, I would recommend Thermite. Now Thermite, he is just one of those attackers that is not amazing but not good, so you don't have to worry about people taking him from you if you guys want to play as him. Now I mean, I would still be fast on picking him in the beginning of rounds because some people still do use him. If you guys are wondering who the heck is Thermite, why should I pick him, basically, you know, if you guys have defended, or if you guys haven't even played around yet, then you guys don't know this, but when you first start in to defend, you can reinforce certain walls, and basically what that does is makes them bulletproof and they can't put breaching charges on them, which is just like the normal charges that almost every attacker can get. And so most people do that to almost every wall in the objective area, just to, you know, stop people from blowing holes in there. You know, they have to basically block off that path. But what Thermite can do is he can place a charge on those walls and he can blow up those walls. Now there's only 2 operators in the game that can do that, Thermite and Habana. And Habana is a DLC operator, and for the sake of this video, I will not be including DLC operators because they're 25,000 and no one is going to save up 25,000 before they get any other operators in the game. So no DLC operators in this video. Sorry if you guys are hoping to, you know, hear about that, but that's not happening. And if you guys want to know what's the difference between Thermite and Habana, basically Habana can, Thermite, you have to physically be right up against the wall and he'll like unravel it and you'll be ready for it. Habana, you can shoot it from a distance and you can shoot tiny holes or big holes. Thermite just has one big hole that he can do, but it's still very useful. So basically he has a charge that he puts up against the wall, and then he basically can back up and then, you know, press the same button he used to deploy it, and then it will break a hole in that reinforced wall, and boom, you just leave a nice wide open hole for your team to get many kills and you. And now his gadget is amazing, but let's talk about his guns. He has a shotgun and an assault rifle. Now the assault rifle is very good. I've only used his shotgun once. It is very fast firing, but I would not recommend it compared to his other gun. His assault rifle is high damage, hits like a truck, just very minimal recoil, which is very good for beginners, and has access to all the main sights that a beginner would need, which is amazing. So not only does his gun hit like a truck, but his secondary is also one of the most powerful semi-auto secondaries in the game. His pistol does so much damage. If you know, shot a guy a few times but then you have to reload and you have enough time to switch to your pistol and kill him, definitely do that. His pistol hits like a truck. And he is just overall an amazing operator, and no one will be mad at you for, you know, picking him on your team. Unless obviously they wanted him, but I mean that's always gonna happen. So you've played a few rounds as Thermite, you've kinda got, you know, the recoil down, how to aim. Make sure you always lean around corners, by the way. I mean, always lean around corners. I mean, if you don't lean in Rainbow, that's one key element that you're missing out, and it's just in turn going to give you a very big disadvantage. So you've got, you know, the aiming down, the running, when to be smart a little bit. Now, you're obviously not going to do this in there. It's going to take like maybe 2 days before you can kind of understand stuff like that and when to play smart, and constantly watch tip videos. That is a huge thing. That's what got me started, was I just watched beginner tutorials, guides, or just watching other people play the game. Just gave me tips, and I am a lot better than I was in the beginning. Now you want someone that's more just about kills. Thermite is a very team-based operator because he can blow up those reinforced walls, but now you want someone that can just get mad amounts of kills very fast. Now, this one is going to take a while to get used to. It's actually the very first operator I ever got, and it's not a bad choice, but you have to know how to play with her as the game, or else it's just going to be useless. And a lot of people like to choose this certain operator, so you're going to have to learn to be fast and all stuff. This is just going to give you the basic tips about picking your operator fast and how to get a lot of kills. And it is Ashe. Yes, they are both in the same category, so it is going to be a little annoying for you guys that first start off, because the first operator's 500 in a category, then it goes up by 500 until you get all four. So yes, Ashe is going to be 1,000, but she is very, very much worth it in my opinion. So let's go into her gadget. Basically, she has a grenade launcher type gun that basically, it's like a breaching charge almost, but you can shoot it from a distance. So it's kind of like Habana, but it cannot go through reinforced walls. And you're like, wow, that's useless. Why'd you need that? But it's actually very nice. If there is a hatch like on a ceiling that you can't place a charge on, shoot Ashe just the end, you can get it. And if you direct impact someone with it, it'll kill them. I've done that many times before. Actually a couple times in ranked even, and it's probably one of the funnest things to try to do. I wouldn't obviously recommend it for that, but if you run out of breaching charges, or you're using her smokes, because you can choose either breaching charges or smokes, she can just go through castle barricades, you can go through just normal barricades, and unreinforced walls, which is very useful. But really the main reason people use her is for her gun and her speed. So when you first pick an operator, there's going to be speed and 3 circles under it, and then armor and 3 circles under it. Basically, armor is how many bullets they can take. So if they're 3 armor, that means they're going to be able to take a lot more bullets than someone which say 1 armor. And 2 armor and 2 speed is like about the normal, because you can either have, if you have 2 armor, you're going to have 2 speed. If you have 3 armor, you're going to have 1 speed. And if you have 1 armor, you're going to have 3 speed. My favorite, and pretty much what all the pros like, I'm not calling myself a pro by the way, but I'm just saying that's my favorite, is the 3 speed, 1 armor. Because most people die to headshots, and even if you have 3 armor, it's a 1 bullet kill for a headshot. No matter what gun they ever use, it's always going to be a 1 bullet headshot if you can hit them in the head. But 3 speed allows you to easily strafe bullets, run to the objective fast, and they're going to be afraid if they're still reinforcing walls and you're in the objective. Now her gun, the R4C, holy moly guys. This is probably one of the best guns in the game, in my opinion. It's up there with Jager's gun, with Twitch's gun. It is a very good gun. It has about normal damage per bullet. It has an amazing fire rate. It's very minimal recoil. It's easy to control. And you slap any sort of sight on that gun and give it a rip, it will be amazing. She's probably my most used attacker on offense, just because she is amazing and just gets so many kills. It's unbelievable. I won't even be trying like going try hard with her. I'll just play normal rounds with her, and I'll at least kill 3 people out of the 5 people on the enemy team without me even trying. She is that good. Now the only problem is everyone picks Ashe. Like, it's very rare that there's an attacking team without Ashe, so make sure you learn to get to her fast and pick her fast. And one quick tip with Thermite: never ever use his breaching charge on a non-reinforced wall. I see people put it on barricades, guys. Barricades you can punch open with 3 punches. Do not waste one of your only 2 breaching charges on that stuff. Don't use it on unreinforced walls. Just don't use it on stuff like that. Only use it on reinforced walls. Now same goes with Ashe. Don't use her ability on reinforced walls, because it's not gonna work. So you guys have played a few rounds with your 2 new attackers, and now you guys want a new defender. First off, probably the most famous, most popular, most chosen defender in the game is Rook. Now Rook is one of those people that if you lay down his ability and then you die right away, you still help out the team tremendously. If you guys do not know what Rook does, his ability, so you can lay down an armor pack that gives your whole team armor to withstand one more bullet, which, you know, sounds like, oh, one more bullet, that's nothing, but one more bullet in Rainbow is crazy. Now, obviously, if they get headshots all the time, that's not really gonna change, they're still gonna die right away, but Rook's armor is just one of those things that people are actually gonna be happy, they're never gonna be mad if you choose Rook. Now, let's talk about guns. Rook has access to, I'm pretty sure it's 3 guns. He gets access to it's either 3 or 2. I might be confusing him with Doc, but I think he gets access to a shotgun, an MP5, and a P90. I don't remember what the shotgun is called. And for a beginner, if you want to get headshots, I would recommend the P90 because it shoots very fast, but then you're gonna have to reload really fast. So if you think you're good with accuracy, I'd recommend the P90. If you just want a decent overall gun, I would recommend their MP5. The MP5 is amazing. I don't care if you use it for him or Doc or any other operator that has access to the MP5. It is an amazing gun. You'll never do bad with it. It has a very minimal fire rate, which means you can control the recoil very well, and it has high damage. As well as he can choose between a deployable shield and impact grenades. Now, at the very beginning, when you first start to place him, I would recommend using the impact shield, so you can just lay that down in a corner and just guard the objective room. But once you start to get good with him, and you want to maybe try wandering, which is what a lot of the pros do, where they basically leave the objective room, but they still stay somewhat near it, so, you know, basically cuts off a line of sight or source area for the attackers, but you're not in the objective room, so it just makes them even more worried. Then I would recommend his impacts, so you can blow holes in walls and maybe get a perfect line of sight on the enemy, and it's just personal preference, really. So, with the similar theme as the first attacker, for the first attacker is going to be a little easy. Second defender is going to be probably more chosen, but is a little better. For the second defender, I would recommend Jager. Now, Jager is probably the most popular defender in the game right now. He is absolutely crazy. He has 3 speed. His gun is literally the definition of hitting like a truck. His gun is crazy. Not his shotgun, but his assault rifle is crazy. It has a low rate of fire, but the bullets do mad amount of damage. It's actually insane. I've probably died more to Jager as an attacker more than any other operator in the game. He's probably going to be one of the hardest people to choose if you want to play as him, just because everyone's going to pick him. But if you ever do get to play as him, he is amazing, because basically his ability is he can lay down, if you guys have played Call of Duty before, then he can lay down basically trophy systems on the wall or the floor. And if you guys have played Call of Duty or know what trophy systems are, then you guys know exactly what it is. But for you guys that do not know what trophy systems are, basically, if an enemy were to, say, shoot an ash charge in there, or throw a grenade, or a flashbang, or any sort of projectile like that into the room, it'll basically shoot a little pellet at it, and it'll blow it up. So basically, no one can throw a grenade or use anything like that. It can stop fuse charges or anything like that in the room. Basically just blocks off everything of getting into the room, but each one only goes about 3 to 5 times, but he does get 3 of them. So, you know, you can place these all in good spots in the room by doorways or where enemy can't see them, and it'll greatly help all your team, especially if they're staying in the objective. Now, he gets access to a deployable shield or barbed wire. Now, it's all personal preference. If you're gonna wander, which is what most people do with Jager, I'd recommend barbed wire. I'd place them both around entrances to the objective, and then I would go around, running around, finding a good spot. If you want to stay in the objective, you just lay down a shield in a corner, maybe lay down, check cameras, and use him like that. So there you have it. You have 2 attackers and 2 defenders that are very, very good in their own way. Very good for beginners too, because their guns aren't crazy with recoil unless you choose Rook's P90, then good luck, but they are very good. And now this is a little section where I will have bonus people for, it's just one more person in each. If you guys, you know, both have them already, or you guys just want to try something new, these aren't going to be as good for beginners because either they have a weaker gun or their gun has more recoil, or it's just a little bit harder, but they're very, very good operators if you use them correctly. For defending, we have Mute, and for attacking, we have Twitch. So let's go straight off with defending. Mute is probably, he's very underrated, I'll say that. People never use him unless you're playing ranked, but he is very good in his own way. Basically, he has these mute jammers that he can lay down anywhere he wants, really, and they basically will block enemy drones from scattering out the area. They can stop breaching charges, fuse charges, ash charges, anything that could possibly be, you know, electrically detonated or anything. They'll stop Habana's breaching charges. Basically anything that runs off electricity or anything like that, it will stop. And it's very, very good. So a quick tip, if you guys are going to use him, I'll tell you how to basically play with him. Basically, right when you spawn in, don't worry about getting rook armor, reinforcing, anything like that. You're going to want to barricade all the doors and then lay down your mute jammers like right next to the doorway. So like when you lay them down, there's going to be a little red ring, and that's where it's actually going to mute stuff. So you're going to want to do that right next to all the doors, maybe like in a corner of room if you have an extra one. And look out for the little drone holes, stuff like that, so they can't find the objective. And then when the little timer says, you know, enemies didn't find the objective, but you know, the action phase is starting, which means the people are actually coming to get you, then you can pick up his jammers and put them against walls or windows, or that's basically what you guys want to do if you guys ever are going to play it as mute. You guys are going to want to pick his charges up, then put them by reinforced walls or castle windows or just barricaded windows, stuff like that, to stop the enemy from placing stuff on those areas to potentially breach and kill your team. And now he does have, his guns aren't amazing. He has an MP5, and then I think it's I don't remember the other gun he has, but I just strictly remember only using his MP5, and his MP5 is a marshmallow shooter, basically only going to kill people if you can get a lucky headshot, but he is still very good for his gadget, and I would still recommend him very much. Now, for the final operator in the video, Twitch. Now, Twitch is another one of those attackers that a lot of people are going to want to choose because her gun is arguably one of the best guns in the game if you can use it correctly. Now, Twitch's ability is she has a little shock drone. It's basically like a normal drone, but it can't jump, which doesn't sound like that bad, but it actually puts it at a very severe disadvantage. But basically, it has a little tiny, I don't know, maybe you could call it a taser on it, and basically it can break cameras, it can break down Myras, it can actually shock the enemy while they're defending. It takes down 10 health per shot, which is actually very, very good. It can take out bandits, batteries, it can take out Jager's ADS. Basically anything that operators can lay down, Twitch's drone can shock and break. And now Twitch has a very, very small hitbox as well. She is she's one of those smaller operators, kind of like Ash, so she is very, very good and small, so it's hard for the enemy to hit her, as well as she runs very fast. But people mainly use her for her gun. Her F2, she has another gun that's semi-auto, and it hits like a truck, but it just isn't that good in general. So I don't know, if you are not good at getting headshots, then I would use her semi-auto gun. But if you are, I mean, just intermediate, I guess, in aiming, I would recommend her F2. It's a very, very, very fast shooting gun. It is probably one of the easiest guns to get headshots with because it has very, very low recoil for how fast the gun actually shoots. And it has a decent amount of ammo in the clip. So there you guys have it. There are 3 attackers and defenders for beginners that I would highly recommend. And now before I finish this video, I want you guys to comment if you guys would like to see other videos like this, like maybe ones for pros, maybe DLC operators, maybe just best and worst attackers and defenders, like a big video on almost everyone. Anything like that, tips or tricks, lines of sights, anything like that that you guys want to know in Rainbow Six Siege, make sure to comment it down below. And as always, I think I'm going to end the video here, so if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, and as always, I will see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.